Vooch, without looking at the film, what did you feel were the shortcomings in this contest against the Thunder?
I think that we struggle a little bit offensively, especially towards the end. I feel like we didn't work the offense enough. We could have maybe got some better shots, and some of the good shots we did have, we didn't knock them down, and they did. And also throughout the game, I thought our defense wasn't at a level needed to be for us to have a chance to win the game. So I think those two things I think stand out the most right now without watching the film. But yeah, we just have to get back to defending better. We also fouled a lot, which gave them a lot of free throw opportunities. I think they had 10 or so more free throws than we did, which is always difficult to play that way. So those three couple things I think stand out right now.
Josh Robbins, The Athletic.
Vooch, did you feel like the offense pressed any without Evan available?
No, not necessarily. I just think we obviously with Evan out, we like some shooting. We already are lacking some of that as a team, anyways. And so with Evan out, it was even more difficult for us. So for the spacing and things like that. But I don't think we were pressing anything. I think that Mike, he's been around for a while now, and so he's he came in and did what he does. Just think our offense goes through stretches where we don't we kind of settle a little bit. We take some shots that we can get really at any time, that we can probably work a little bit the offense to get some better looks. And when we get 3-4 possessions like that in a row and the other team scores on the other end, it's difficult to play that way.
Dan Savage.
Vooch, you touched on it a little bit there, but when shots aren't falling, what are some of the things you guys can do to help compensate for that?
I mean, it's in a shot making league. If you're not making shots, it's hard to play. If you score under 100 nowadays in the NBA, it's a very very low scoring game. Now average over 110 or something. So it's I mean, when shots are not falling, obviously maybe if you get some steals and things like that, run in transition, create some turnovers, create try to run off misses, hit the glass. So you can do things like that, but when you're not hitting shots and consistently for a couple positions in a row, it's just hard to get something going. And a lot of times it also hurts our defense.
Roy Perry, Orlando Sentinel.
Vooch, when you guys played on Tuesday, you had 72 points in the paint against the Thunder, and then you guys had 46 tonight. I know that Horford was in the lineup tonight, so the rotations were a little bit different for them. But what do you feel like was the difference? Why was your paint scoring so less effective tonight than it was on Tuesday?
Well, they were crowding the paint more for sure than they did. First game we played them. I mean, having Horford definitely helped them. When he's present with his experience and things like that. They were doing a better job on my post ups as well. Double teaming off the baseline and better job with their rotation. Something we actually were able to hurt them on in Oklahoma City. So just think they made little adjustments of crowding the paint better. Every time we try to drive, there's always a couple of bodies in there, and they did what they needed to do. And on the other hand, we don't do as good of a job actually protecting our paint. So it's something that we have to look at and try to do a better job. But like I said, when you lack a guy like Evan, who's gives us that 3-point shooting ability, you take him away. It's harder for us because there's less spacing also as well.
Dan Savage.
Vooch, you guys got Terrence back tonight after he missed a game. How much of a boost was he, and how much of a factor was he in helping you guys stay in the game?
You guys ask me every time Terrence plays, but Terrence does what he does. I mean, he's not a rookie. He's been in this league for a long time, and I mean, I think I can repeat myself, but I mean, he has his nickname for a reason. So Terrence came in, did what he does. I mean, obviously he's a great shooter. He has a special ability to come off screens and just knock shots down and gets hot. And he really got hot early on in the first quarter and kind of kept us in there. And then throughout the game as well. But when you ask it like it's the first time we ever see Terrence play, it's like we know what he does.
Josh Robbins.
Nick, we haven't had the chance to ask you. I'm curious whether you and the other veterans are trying to lift up Chuma's spirits after this setback with his bone bruise.
Yeah, I talked to him actually today because I had a bone bruise last year in my ankle, and a couple of years ago I had it in my knee. And just told him, to keep his head up. It's part of it. Injuries are part of the game. And he asked me, how long it took me and how I dealt with it. And so it's just, I told him for my knee, actually, I was supposed to be out for 3 or 4 weeks, and I think I was able to come back in a week and a half or two. I played through some pain, but it wasn't too bad. So it just all depends on how his body responds. But obviously, I think it's difficult for him just because, he was out for so long, and he finally, started getting back into the rhythm and getting comfortable. Then he's out again. So just, told him to keep his head up and, keep working, and, hopefully they won't keep him out too long.
Dan Savage?
Vooch, when some of the younger guys like Cole or Dwayne are having rougher shooting nights, what do you say to younger guys like that may have not gone through this at this level in the league?
Just stay with it. It's difficult when you don't hit shots. Whether you're young guy or veteran, it's biggest part of this game is to make shots. And so when you don't make them, it obviously frustrates every player. But just stick with it. Always think about the next shot. You can go for 10 and make bigger shot in a game. So for a young guy, obviously it's much harder to see that way because he has to go through it, and it's kind of growing pains, and it's just part of it. We've all done it. Just stick with it. There's no really big secret to it.
Final questions for Vooch. Thanks, Vooch.